So, as you just heard, I basically resolve business problems through use of technology. And to do that, I have to spend a lot of time learning about technology, and I also have to spend a lot of time traveling to go and find it. So, I'm always looking at learning from technology, because if you don't actually use it, it's very hard to really appreciate what it does. So, I have equipped myself with a little bit of something a little different than usual. So, I travel a lot, and one of the things when I travel that's kind of interesting is I always want to have a good headphone with me. Because when you're on the airplane, you put headphones on, you want it noise canceling. Now, most of you know the Bose headphones. They're very good for noise canceling, but they're not really high quality audio. So these are Sennheiser headphones. They're Bluetooth, and they're very, very high quality. But of course, you need a high quality source, and so for that I have a Hi-Fi Man, which is an audiophile digital audio player. You put these two things together, it's like having your stereo system at home. Now, if I'm on the airplane, I also like to have information about, learning about reading and things like that. So I have, of course, my Kindle, which is nice and small, fits in my pocket. But as you've probably gathered by now, I have a few extra pockets on my jacket. So here is the Galaxy Tab, also very nice because it's nice and small. But these things you've seen already, there's nothing really new. What is new, of course, is the Motorola Zoom. This device is the latest of the Android tablets. It's going to have LTE capability very shortly, very fast, with multi-core processor, gives you a lot of capability. Again, that's also been out. What just came out, of course, is this one here. This is the new iPad 2, and it has a really cool cover, which you see that's on here. So this gives me a fair amount of entertainment value on the airplane. I can enjoy myself and see what's happening. But of course, sometimes I like to do something besides watching movies. I like to interact. And so when you interact, one of the things that's fun is this device here. This is the new Nintendo 3DS. It is a 3D gaming platform. It'll be released in a couple of days, actually a couple of weeks. It's available really limited right now in Japan. This is all in Japanese. My Japanese is not very good. But this not only is a 3D gaming system, but it also has a 3D camera so I can take 3D pictures. Of course, it's a gaming machine, so not as good quality as when I land, of course. Now I have another 3D camera here. This one has multi-lenses, of course, shoots HD, and has an audio stereoscopic lens on the back, so you can actually see the 3D images that you shoot. Of course, you can't see this from this distance, but trust me, if you look up close to it, it is in 3D. So that gives me some capability, but when I'm traveling, sometimes, I want a little bit higher quality, and I want to have the ability to record. So here is a camcorder, nice little Sony camcorder. What's interesting about it, of course, it's got GPS, and there are programs that now will take everything I shoot and track it. So now I know exactly where I've been. I don't have to take notes. I have my GPS camcorder. Now, if you're going to do that, you might also want to have a little bit of audio capability, and if I can put up my pocket, that is. This is a Sony high-quality audio recorder that allows me to record really high-quality audio. I can make a CD from this. So now I have the entertainment. I can create stuff. But, some of the stuff you've seen. What can you do else? Well, these are glasses, sunglasses, which, of course, in Israel is kind of useful. They look a little bit bulky. The reason they're bulky is because they have a camera built into them. And if I reach into my pocket here, I can bring out my own little view screen, and I can plug the view screen in here. And now, not only can I see you all, and I can take pictures, but I can also, with my camera, I can actually see what's with my view screen. I can actually see what's happening here. Or if I happen to have a map or tied into my cell phone, I can be transmitting the image up to the screen. So as I'm walking along, I can be seeing where I'm going and looking at the maps and stuff that you just saw. Now, that's all fun and time, but when you're really going out and you want to work, one of the things you really want to have is a PC. So here is a full Windows 7 PC. This is not a miniature netbook. This is not an application, but this is a full Windows 7 PC, and it's also has a really cool boot analysis program. I think I may need it on here because it's booting up. It's actually coming out of hibernation. But I can run everything on here. It's also 3G, which means that I can put in a SIM card in here and use it for communications, data communications. And it has a neat little feature picture on it, which is nice. If I can just figure out how to open this little thing here. It also has DVD, which means that it will receive, you know what this means. I'm sure I can move this. Anyway, there's a little antenna here which I can't get out. But this antenna allows me to receive television, digital television with it. But we'll leave that here for the time being. But again, those are things that are we've all known about. In my pocket here, and of course everything's in my pocket. The other thing is this is a new cellular mobile phone from Motorola. It's called the Atrix. And it's an Android-based phone. It's an interesting phone, but multi-core processor, lots of memory, high-speed communications. It is 4G, but it has an interesting thing. What I have in my hand here is what looks like a laptop, but it isn't. Basically, it's a screen, a keyboard, mouse, or trackpad, and a battery. There's no processing in here. So if I want to do the processing, I take my phone, I dock my phone into this device here, and instantly what will happen is this will come up with an experience of a laptop. So this is my use. So there's my phone interface, and over here is my PC interface. And if I go over here, and I can just simulate this for you here, if I click on this, this is what happens when I put it into this dock. Now, this dock lives next to my TV, and this gives me an entertainment experience. So now there's an entertainment experience, and I can go over here, for example, to videos. I can select video, and then play again. And now it's going to start playing video. Again, this is on my phone. This is nothing more than a battery, keyboard, and screen. All the processing is happening here. And when I take this home and I plug it into my TV, the same thing happens over here. So this is sort of the new paradigm. We're seeing a number of things come together. We're seeing three legs that are coming together. One is faster processors, hardware. The second is high-speed networks. And the high-speed networks make a big difference. And of course, the other thing is cloud computing, so all this processing happens in the cloud. Now, speaking of high-speed networks, yes, thank you very much. So one of my gadgets fell out of my pocket. Speaking of high-speed networks, this is a new phone that was just released on Friday. This is the HTC Thunderbolt. This is the first LTE phone that's out there. Now this phone, just to give you an idea, you're used to the download speed. When I was in New York leaving here, now of course I'm one of the only people on the network right now since it's just released, but I was getting 20 megabits down and 20 megabits up, 20 megabits symmetrical download speed. By the way, it's also a Wi-Fi hotspot. This is LTE, long-term evolution. So this makes a huge difference when you have a phone that has this kind of capability. The same capability will be in the Zoom tablet, and of course LTE is an international standard, so it will be out across the entire world. Now, of course, the thing that was just brought in, if you're around the world, and let's say you're in some place where there is no cellular service, like for example here, there is no LTE. In fact, this is a Verizon phone, so it's CDMA, so I can't use it here in Israel also, which is of course GSM. But suppose I really want to, update my Facebook or update my where I am, or I want to send an SMS message, or maybe some government has turned off the internet or turned off the power and all the rest. Well, guess what? There is a solution. What is in my hand here is a satellite tracking device. Now, this is a GPS receiver, so it receives GPS signals. But what's different about this, it's also a satellite transmitter. This transmits back to the satellite. So it started off as an emergency system. You press this little red button here, and they'll send out troops and helicopters and come find you. But now there's a link between this and your cell phone. So I can now actually update my Facebook status. I can update where I am. I can send SMS messages. It's all going via the satellite. And of course, I don't have to worry about whether the internet is running in the country I'm in. I don't have to worry about whether there's cellular coverage. It works anywhere. Now you say, yes, that's very nice. But what happens if you have power where it's going to run out of batteries, right, at some point? Well, I have a solution for that as well. This is the kinetic energy generator. And as I walk, this generates electricity. So as long as I keep walking, I'll have my electricity, I'll have my satellite, and I can communicate. Now, of course, if the satellites fall in the sky and I'm on a clock, then we probably have a bigger problem. So, in addition to all of that, one of the things that's kind of fun is seeing some of the accessories that have been tied on the phones. We, of course, course, we're all familiar with the ubiquitous iPhone, and there are lots of accessories for that. Here's one option that's interesting. I just pulled out the back of my iPhone a Bluetooth headset. It docks in the back of my iPhone. Now that's fun, but suppose I'm now out and I'm enjoying life, and I'm trying to have a few drinks or something, and I'm worried about driving. This little accessory plugs into the bottom of your iPhone, like this, and it's a breathalyzer. And you go into this, it'll tell you whether you're drunk or not and whether you can drive. But, let's say you can't drive, and you now need somebody, you meet somebody, you try to decide, well, maybe they can take me for a ride, and that might be nice. This little device here I found, it is also a breathalyzer. It's a different type of breathalyzer. What this does is it analyzes the quality of your breath. So if you have smelly breath, they might not take you for a ride, this will tell you. If it's good, it says kiss, kiss, kiss. If it's meteor, it'll say kiss carefully. If it's not good, it gives you skull and crossbones and says don't kiss. So this is an analyzer. Of course, there are other things to do with accessories. I'm wearing on my wrist here a little thing called WakeMate. What this does is it measures my sleep rhythms and then transmits that back to the cell phone and looks at when it's an appropriate time to wake me up. So if I set my alarm for 7 o'clock and it says it might be there to wake you at 6:32 because you're out of REM sleep, this will transmit back to the phone and it will change the alarm time to wake me up at the appropriate time. So anyway, technology like that goes on and on and on. There are lots of things of that nature. Another fun one that I do a lot, not in this pocket. That's the problem with having so many pockets. Sometimes you forget. In this pocket, this is fun on the airplane. This is a deco projector. It's a laser projector. So it's a video projector, and it's laser. And it connects up to your iPhone. So if you're on the airplane and you want to share your movie, you can stream it at the ceiling, and then you can charge money for watching your movie on the airplane. I'm not sure what the analysis of that will be. But then as I'm looking around, I'm always looking for sort of the ultimate gadget toy to play with. And one of the things that I really like, of course, here's my iPad here, but I'm checking out here. Oh dear, it looks like we've lost internet connection, but that's easy. We can fix that. We go to settings, and we go to Wi-Fi, and I'm going to come over here where we have connection, and I'm going to connect up to my device here, and with a little bit of luck, this will work. So some of these things are less interesting than others. Some are just fun. This one is in the category of just fun. And I was a little worried about bringing this into Israel because you have security issues here. And I don't know if you can see this here. So I connect up here. It will connect up to my tablet. So you're seeing the output of my tablet. And it's connecting a little lamp. And now that's you, okay? Or that's me here. And that's a camera. And it's interesting about this camera is because it's not just a regular camera. It also is a flying camera. And so it will fly up, and I can now fly my camera. And there it goes. And now I'm flying the camera here. And so this is one of those gadgets. Now, by the way, notice I'm not doing anything. I'm going to be careful not to move my iPad a little bit because it is sensitive to how I move my iPad. It's also got a gyroscope in it, and it knows exactly the height. I can change the angle. I can look at the downstairs. That's what it's looking down. But we'll leave it there. That's me with my